service, sir.
Come here! Come here!
Whoa! Whoa!
Hey!
What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now, so I decided to take a load off. But I can tell you, it ain't too comfortable here.
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
A horn? Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it, then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
What? An arrow? Like, from a bow?
Aye, an arrow. With an arrowhead, a shaft, and a fletching. Simply an arrow.
You have an arrow stuck in your head? Shouldn't you be, well, dead? I've never seen anyone with an arrow in his head who wasn't.
Of course I should be. Dead as a doornail. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't no ordinary arrow.
Oh? And what's special about it?
Always questions all of a sudden. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Skalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Skalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Karel. Folk call me Karel Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know.
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
Because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Doesn't it hurt? Looks like a nasty wound.
Look, when God blesses you, you accept it for what it is.
So does it hurt?
Hurts like hell. And it fucked my eyesight up a bit. But that don't matter. It's still a gift from God.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. You lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
Well, I can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Ah, sucker. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. A man can be invincible, and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
How can you be so sure you can't get hurt? Maybe you were just incredibly lucky up until now.
The answer's easy. I just know. When I got hit with this here arrow, I was out of it for 3 days. I just lay there for 3 days. Everyone thought I was dead, but I kept on breathing. I had this vision of someone. He had this glow around him. He must have been a saint. He spoke to me. Real kind-like. On the 3rd day, I woke up, just like Jesus, and I knew everything was different. That I was a changed man, and there was no turning back.
How is it you got shot? Was it during a battle?
Well, it wasn't exactly a battle. One of the men, brought a keg. He said it was communion wine, but who knows where he got it, 'cause it was damn strong. But regardless, we all had some good fun, though the morning after wasn't too good. Right at the crack of dawn, I had to go and have a shit, so I headed into the bushes, but that woke Pasha up. He was still so drunk, he thought he heard a boar.
So he shot you in the bushes?
A direct hit, right in the forehead. And for that, Lord, I thank you.
Well, God does all sorts of things. Maybe the invincible Karel, with his arrow, is all just part of his plan.
Exactly. Just like he sent you to help me with the sack. And don't worry, we're almost there now.
Over to the Hungarians themselves. Dopradella. Bloody bastards. I reckon they wanted to save their own necks. They had no Aye, but even so, fucking Judases. So they hanged Marish.
It'd be good to know what the weather will be like tomorrow. If it's going to rain.
I dropped that sack over there, but look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellas get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
You have a nice camp. What's life like here?
And who the fuck are you to care so much?
I'm Henry.
What are you doing here, Henry? You didn't choose the best place for a stroll.
Don't worry. I was just about to leave. I helped Karel, the fellow with the arrow in his head. I helped him carry a sack here.
Of course you did. Just more shit we don't need. Our Karel loves to steal things you can't eat or drink. Worthless shite.
Well, I think there was coal in that sack. At least you'll be warm when winter comes.
Haha. I hope we'll be long gone before winter comes, and some lumps of coal won't be worth shite.
What's life like here in the forest?
What kind of fucking question is that? What do you think life's like in a fucking forest? Life's shite for all the people you see here.
Is it really that bad?
Well, we're not exactly starving, but it's definitely no fucking feast. Karel is like some fucking priest. He's always saying, we don't need much, that we mustn't be greedy. So we're not greedy, and we don't have much. That's the final score. But, hey, what can you do? All of a sudden, he's the boss. And you have to listen to the boss.
What about Karel's invincibility? That can't possibly be true, is it?
I see he's been running his mouth again.
He mentioned it.
He likes to mention it. Just by the by. But aye, it's true. He used to be a walking disaster. Always sick, injured all the time. But then that arrow hit him. And it changed him. It was some kind of magic. Nobody can beat him. And it saved our skins a few times. Thank God. You could say, without Karel and the magic of that arrow of his, we'd all have been dead long ago.
Heal! Go! Go! Quick!
Greetings, sir.
I heard you hold fights here, and I'd like to know more.
What would you like to know?
What fighters do you have here?
Stanley is the strongest. He works on the farm and's quite a big mouth on him, but he has the strength of 2 men. After him, Tuma, a farmer from across the way. He's quite a bit older than me, but don't let that fool ya. He has a steady hand and bloody good aim with it. And last and maybe least is Darling.
Darling?
He's kind of like the local buffoon. His name's Tobias, but everyone just calls him Darling. When he was a wee lad, he fell on his head from a rotting ladder, and he's never been the same since. He takes care of his aunt's horses and dogs in Grund.
He doesn't sound like an opponent to be feared.
Because he isn't. He's quite a lout, but he doesn't know the first thing about fighting. He hasn't won a single fight. But it's not that he doesn't try.
Where do your fights take place?
That old Chucha's.
And who might that be?
Chucho is our hog. We fight in his pen. He doesn't care. He always just hides in his pigsty.
I reckon I can find that.
I'm certain you can. Just follow your nose.
Can I get involved too?
Why not? It'll be good to have some new blood, and maybe you'll learn something from each other. Do you have any experience?
Well, I haven't won any tournaments here yet, but I've knocked a few people around.
Well, you'll see if that'll be enough.
And if I manage to beat them all?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Darling may be a bumbler, but Stanley and Tuma are no pushovers. Well, if you pull it off, you certainly won't come up short. Farewell, sir.
Greetings.
You look like a merry bloke. What do you like about the fights?
I'm a simple man. I like a good laugh, and sometimes I like to punch someone.
That's it?
I swear, I do it because I enjoy it. That's not so strange, is it?
My respects.
Hey, once more then.
So, Tobias, do you enjoy fighting?
Do I know you?
I'm Henry. Young Bruthans told me you're learning to fight. How are you faring?
Well, it's not going so well.
You don't have to do it, you know. What do you get out of being beaten time and again?
I have to. I have to beat Stanley, so they'll leave me alone.
What does he do to you?
All kinds of things. He says I'm an idiot. Sometimes he comes to Grund and causes trouble, scaring the horses, and he beat up my dog. Better limp for days, and now he's afraid of strangers.
Well, you can defend yourself, but how can a pooch know he has to? Did he bite him at least?
Better? No, He's too nice to ever bite anyone. He runs away instead. But Stanley drove him into the corner of the stable.
People like that make me see red. Well, how about trying your luck against me?
Why not? Do you have any money? We can bet, and whoever wins gets everything.
That sounds good. I agree.
Get ready, then. Well, I lost again.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. Oh, and this is yours. Take it all. Now you can challenge Tuma. I like him. He's funny and kind. Not like Stanley.
Here I am. Oi, now you're looking.
Careful.
You look like a merry...
I'm a simp.
That's it.
I swear.
Shall we fight?
But of course. And before we get started, let's bet.
If you say so. Here you go.
Thanks very much. And now fight.
Come on,
Here, chew on this. Gosh, I feel like I've been split in half.
Thanks for the fight.
Aye, you're welcome. I should be thanking the big man on the sky that I can still walk. Here, take it all and don't spend it at once.
Thanks.
I'm the best around here. What do you say to that?
Why are you always picking on Tobias?
Just take a look at him. If he was any dumber, he'd be eating out of a trough with the pigs. Do you know he talks to animals? He talks to his mutts like they understand him. He'd be better off barking and pissing on the fence like them. But when we manage to get him drunk, now that's fun.
Tobias goes drinking with you?
No, but all you have to do is give him wine and tell him it's apple cider. A little of that and he's completely wasted. Then you should see the shit he gets up to. The last time that idiot almost drowned because he went to fish the moon out of the pond. We told him it was a silver platter.
Find something better to do and leave Tobias alone.
Mind your own business. I reckon that moron doesn't even know when someone's yanking his pizzle. Lord knows if there's anything left in that hollow of his.
Do you want to fight?
Sure, I could go for one. Do you have money to bet?
Of course.
I'm glad to hear it. Get ready and we can get started.
give it all you've got. Wipe the floor.
I'll paint you black and blue. Sacre! I reckon I cut off more than I could chew. You really know how to fight.
Thanks for the fight.
Here's your bet, and a little on top. I don't like giving it up, but I keep my word. And don't forget to go and see Tomlin. His jaw's gonna drop when he hears some out of town and kicked all our asses.
I beat all your men.
Well, I'm jiggered. But I'm impressed. You're good. Here you go. We know how to appreciate a good fighter here. Not long ago, I heard the hired hands in Miskovitz spend the long hours away by fighting. You can go see for yourself if it's true.
That sounds quite good.
And in Kuttenberg, they fight in a tavern called the Hole in the Wall. The name suits it perfectly. So don't expect to be treated kindly.
That sounds worse. But I'll see. Maybe I'll go there and take a look sometime.
Oh, by the way, Darling was looking for you. Go and see him. He'll be glad. Farewell, sir.
Henry?
Do you need something of me?
Well, I wanted to ask you for something.
Pray tell. What's it about?
You wouldn't want to have another bout, would you?
Right now?
Well, yeah.
Why? I already beat you. And Tuma and Stanley, too.
Exactly. So I figured that if I beat you now, you'll still win overall. But if Stanley saw me beat someone that kicked his ass, maybe he'd leave me alone.
And do you think you'd stand a chance to beat me?
Well, that's just it. I'd need you to help me a little.
You want me to lose on purpose?
Well, basically, don't be afraid to give me a few blows too.
Look, wouldn't you rather learn how to fight properly? I'll be happy to train you.
I don't know if it's a good idea. Auntie says I'm a little slow.
Oh, you'll manage. Knocking someone's teeth out is actually pretty simple. And you've got the strength of 3 men. So there's nothing for you to be afraid of.
Well, all right. I can't anymore.
Me neither. Let's take a break.
Do you think I stand a chance against Stanley now?
Definitely a better chance than if you pretended to beat me, but still knew nothing. I'm not saying you'll beat him to a pulp now, but at least you should be able to hit back.
Thanks, Emery. You're a true friend.
You're welcome.
Hey, do you like horses or dogs?
Of course I do.
Me too. I knew right away you like animals. I can tell. Come see me in Grund sometime. I'll take care of the horses and hands, and I'll tell you all about them.
You said you could teach me something. Like what?
Well, I don't know much, but I do understand animals. That's for sure.
You take care of dogs and horses here, right?
Aye, they're my favourite. They're kind, they don't hurt you or curse you when you mess something up. And when you're sad, they look at you with those big eyes of theirs. They don't even need to say anything. Yet you feel better right away.
You see? I'm sure you know a few tricks.
Can I have a few groschen for my trouble?
Of course. Tit for tat.
Thanks. So, what do you want to know?
Quick! Go! Die! Go! Die!
Hey, you there! Please help me!
What's going on?
I beg you, untie me! Thanks for untying me. I thought no one would ever come by. Help me! I've been robbed! They took everything!
How about I take a look at your wounds?
You're a sawbones?
No, but I've patched up a few people.
I see. Well, all right then. Do what you can.
Didn't even hurt, did it?
Well, it almost didn't hurt.
Tell me more about this robbery.
I was ambushed by a band of thugs. 4 men. They beat the shit out of me, took what they could carry, and left me in nothing but my undergarments.
Well, be thankful they didn't murder you while they were at it.
True as that may be, they took all my wares. If I can't sell anything, I'll soon have nothing to live on myself.
I'll help you, as a good Christian should. What can I do for you?
God will repay you. If you have some spare clothing, or perhaps a few groschen, I'll take what you can give me. I'm not picky. Boots and hose would come in useful, though.
I'll find you something to wear. Here. Will that do?
Oh, definitely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's all I can spare.
Thank you so much. And God be with you.
Ka!
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
What did you ever do to anyone?
Good day to you. What brings you here?
I decided to atone for my sins, Father.
For you, it's a necessity. Without sincere repentance, you will head straight into the arms of Lucifer, the fallen angel.
I changed my mind.
I'm truly sorry.
What happened here?
Something killed the villagers' cattle.
You think it was wolves?
That's what I think. But some of the locals got it into their heads that demons or some other hellish beasts are to blame. Just so you're aware, there's an abandoned mine not far from here where miners supposedly dug so deep they struck a gate to hell.
Wait, you mean a real gate to hell? Like fire and brimstone? A stench?
The locals believe it. In fact, they even started the custom of bringing offerings in hopes of pacifying hell and keeping the devils below ground.
Did it work?
How could it possibly work? The whole lot of it's a fabrication. And what makes it even more tragic is that it was the former priest, Father Richard's notion. Can you believe it? A priest coming up with such heresy. I simply won't allow it.
Is there really a pit to hell in the mine? What does it look like?
It's just a normal mine gallery. At least it was, until a cave-in happened a few years back. Sadly, a lot of local miners died that day. The mine was closed immediately after. Some say it was because of the cave-in, others because the vein ran dry. But the locals are convinced it's because a gate to hell opened there. Just a lot of gossip.
Tell me about yourself. You're pretty young to be a priest.
I am. That's my stumbling block. I studied theology in Prague, and even so, the locals won't take me seriously. So I only come here to preach. Otherwise, I live in my parish in Sedlitz.
What about the priest before you? He's not around anymore?
No, he's not. Old Father Richard passed on, and now I serve here in his place. I pray that the good Lord welcomed him to his bosom, despite all the heresy he committed here.
So you forbade the offerings, and immediately after, the cattle were slaughtered. What if demons really did do it? Out of revenge?
Or maybe it was wolves, or anyone who just wanted to make it look that way. I want to uncover the truth, and you can help me. The locals are too frightened to go searching on their own, and I'm willing to pay you.
How can I help you?
I can only think of one way, and that's to go directly to the mine and uncover the truth behind these stories.
You want me to go to the pit of hell?
Don't tell me you put stock in those old wives' tales. But because the locals do, you'll have to go to the mine the same way they did, with a bit of food as an offering. You'll place it there, just as they did, and wait for something to happen. Meanwhile, I'll go to the nearby tavern, find a few brave fellows, and we'll scour the area. Then, we'll all meet up by the mine. What do you say?
Sounds like a job for me.
Here, take some food as an offering. And when no devils show up, you can eat it yourself. I'll go and gather the men, and as soon as we're all ready, we'll meet you at the mine.
And where can I find this mine?
You go west from the village, past the old mine buildings, until you reach one that's collapsed. The mine entrance is next to it. God be with you. Till we meet again.
I decided to atone for my sins, Father.
For you, it's a necessity. Without sincere repentance, you will head straight into the arms of Lucifer, the fallen angel.
I'd like to go now.
There is a conciliation cross between Sukdol and Rabosh. It stands there to mark the end of an old dispute over land between two bailiffs. Not a single drop of blood was spilled. You might be thinking, why is he sending me to a place where nothing happened? Not every dispute has to end in bloodshed. Remember that when you pray there.
What penance do I receive?
Confess your faith by repeating the creed. I hope the Lord will hear your prayers.
I'll make sure to get off on the right foot.
Remember the other one too, so that your legs can actually take you somewhere. Till we meet again.
I'm sorry.
What did you ever do to
Excuse
anyone?
me. I hope you aren't snooping around here, are you? Excuse me. I hope you aren't snooping around here, are you? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Go! Go!
You're always welcome here.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Sit. Stay. Free!
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
My thoughts exactly.
It happens! Just watch where you're going next time. How can I help you, sir?
I'll have a look at your wares.
Maybe next time then, sir.
I'd like to eat and spend the night.
But of course, as you wish, sir. And for how long?
I'll be staying longer.
Very well, but you'll have to pay in advance.
Let's talk about the price.
Very well then. Agreed then. The room's yours. Our beds are clean, and you can eat as much as you'd like, sir.
Where can I find my room?
Easy. You just go upstairs, and immediately on the left, you'll see the door with the green wreath hanging above it.
Henry, I was wondering when you'd turn up.
I'm sorry.
Here it comes.
Henry, I was wondering when you'd turn up. Henry, I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
Well, working in a tavern can't be easy for a woman like you.
What do you mean, a woman like me?
A beautiful woman. Does anyone harass you? Just say the word and I'll take care of it.
Ah, don't you worry, love. I can take care of myself.
But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild, even for me.
That's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
I see the owner's got a sense of humour.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hotprink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goat skin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.